Mr.
Hello?
Harris, are you driving?
Just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Now first off, I know you have already seen this viral clip because let's be honest, it has been everywhere lately. People cannot stop talking about it, and honestly I cannot blame them. This is one of those moments where you just sit back, shake your head and wonder how we got here in the first place. It is pure internet gold at its finest.
Court calls the case. People versus Jeffrey Bloom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Bloom, who is present.
What are we doing today?
Your Honor, I'm going to be asking the court to set this for the final settlement conference. I know there's one in August. I know there's one in June. I do have a circuit court jury trial for next Monday that's like pretty firmed up.
Got it.
But I can make the August one work and I'll leave that open and we'll get it done.
Okay. Jury final settlement conference will be set August 9th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Jury selection in this matter will be August 12th, 2024 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
I'll let you go.
I was going to try to get you. I was going to try to get you out of the room. Bloom. I was trying to get you out of the room before you said anything. You knew what I was doing. That's why your finger went up.
At least I'm not driving with a suspended license.
I have no comment.
He turned himself and bonded out, and now he is back before the court, just not behind the wheel this time. Now we will get to that case in just a minute, and trust me, you do not want to miss it because there is a wild plot twist waiting at the end. But first, let me catch you up on someone I have been following for the past couple of years, Jeffrey Bloom. And if you have no idea who Jeffrey Bloom is, let me go ahead and play you this clip from his arraignment on charges that definitely got people talking.
Okay. 2 times now I've let it go. Remember?
Let what go?
I said enjoy the day, enjoy your horse, all that. So I let it go. The time before that I let it go. But Your Honor, today I need to put something on the record. This is very serious.
Put something on the record all the time. Go ahead.
Okay. No, not last time. Okay. Your Honor, this case, assault and battery case, has gone over a year. And since October, I've fought tooth and nail for discovery. I still haven't been given the hospital report, any photos, any. There's a lot missing from discovery still. Remember, since October, we've.
No, I remember you mentioning it, but hold on a second, Mr. Bloom. Has the discovery been requested, Mr.?
Yeah.
Hold. This is why. Listen, Mr. Bernstein. Which discovery referencing, Jeff?
Hospital report that Deputy Soyring says there was a hospital report. There was. I'm wondering how this case was even brought about, Your Honor, because.
Okay, Mr. Bloom.
There was never a report.
Mr. Bloom.
Okay, I'll let it go.
Because you keep asking me questions you know I can't necessarily answer.
Okay, let me get on with the real stuff.
Oh, okay.
Per transcripts.
No,
I still haven't received the transcripts.
Of what?
3-6. Remember I asked for the transcripts from 3-6? I still haven't received transcripts from 3-6. That's 3 months ago. I know it takes a while, especially this being a misdemeanor case.
Hang on. We have to have a written request for the transcripts. And Mr. Bloom, here's what I'm going to suggest. If you need those, again, you have an attorney. Tell your attorney that's what you need.
Okay, well, this is my assistance of counsel, just like Ms. Barroso has assistants and you have assistants.
I don't have assistants. I have individuals that I work for that are professional.
Jeffrey Bloom is a special kind of special, and his case is finally reaching the finish line today as one of his final pre-trials before this whole thing heads off to a jury trial, and you can just tell from Judge Simpson's expressions that he is not exactly shedding any tears over it, so let's get into it.
Oh,
I don't professional, but go ahead.
I can clarify what Jeff's talking about. I ordered an audio recording of that hearing. And someone in my office kind of like, we did a transcription of it for Jeff, but I think what he wants me to request is an actual transcript, and I just didn't.
Well,
wait for speed
and
costs.
so they can do that, pay for it, and I'm sure it will be accomplished. But if we haven't received a written request for that, then that won't happen. So,
Thank you. Well, I ain't gonna go through all this. I just need to put a little bit on record. Per transcripts from 10-4, you stated that you believe everything a Washtenaw County Sheriff's
4.
22. Washtenaw County Sheriff Deputy says is true. And you believe everything a Washtenaw County Sheriff's Deputy says.
Hold on a second. What are you reading to me right now?
Something that I want to state on record, Your Honor.
No,
Is that-
but what
can I do that?
you're obviously stating what somebody else said. I'm just
No.
trying to figure out where it's coming.
You said,
On the 24th of,
no, on 10-4 of 22.
in this case?
No, you stated that you believe everything a Washtenaw County Sheriff's Deputy says, correct?
I don't recall saying that.
And you were upset that my attorney questions the deputy's authority or authenticity and requested said officer to be under oath. And there is proof that deputy testified with reckless disregard for truth. You were also misled on 9/13, 10/4, and 11/7.
Mr. Bloom, is this in regard to your other matter?
This is regard to everything.
Well, no, it can't be in regard to everything. It's got to be
Okay,
in
well,
regard to your
I'm
other
trying to
matter
put-
because
I'm
this
trying to
didn't
put
start.
canons.
No, stop. This case didn't start until 10/18. So if you're referring
Okay, I'm
to a
past that.
record from another case,
Then I'm past that.
then you're past what?
I'm past the other case. Here we go. This is this case.
It's kind of hard to be driving on a suspended license when you have spent the last few years sitting in jail, Jeffrey, and honestly I'm failing to find the humor in your little joke, especially when you are facing charges like domestic violence, which is 1,000 times worse than driving on a suspended license.
Canon 2, Canon 2A, Canon 3, which in part reads, a judge shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communications or consider other communications concerning a pending or impending matter that are made outside the party's presence or their lawyer's presence. Canon 3A4B in part reads, not only is it a gross breach of the appearance of justice when the defendant's principal adversaries are given private access to the ear of the court. It is a dangerous procedure.
What are you, Mr. Bloom? I'm going to stop you because what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the transcripts from 3/6, Your Honor, where you stated you had notes, you stated you had a phone call from ex parte communicators.
No, that was regarding your dental.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
has
that was a
nothing to
motion
do
we
with-
filed. Your
No,
Honor.
but that has nothing to do with the
But
case.
I mentioned that on
And
other
I,
days you did
but
that.
Mr. Bloom, no, Mr. Bloom,
You don't
because
wanna
if you're
hear it.
going to, you don't want to hear, I don't. Because what
know.
you're saying is incorrect.
Okay,
I had a communication.
All right.
I disclosed that to the parties because it came to the court's attention, not by the court doing it, that there was something regarding the dental work. I don't know what it was about the dental work.
there were other
But-
matters you did the same thing, Your Honor.
Bye.
I'm not contacting
Goodbye.
the senior
Goodbye.
commission.
Goodbye,
I'm not
Mr.
contacting
Bloom.
the-
Goodbye. Thank you. Have a great day.
Ride your horse.
Take care.
Wear your hat. We'll contact the senior commission, sir.
Have fun.
If we are being honest with ourselves, what he really has is an incomplete set of chromosomes, and yes, you heard that right, Jeffrey Bloom is not just someone with a serious drinking problem who cannot seem to stay out of trouble, he also thinks he is a constitutional law scholar who can defend himself better than every free lawyer combined.
I please this honorable court, Dion Webster Cox, appearing on behalf of Mr. Harris. How are you, Your Honor?
We will see.
We're good. We're good.
Mr. Brown, or somebody from the PD's office, because I did not get a substitution. I got an appearance
Oh,
I
I've
get
got
a
a substitution right here.
signed off on.
It is.
All right, then I don't need to address. I don't need
Thank
to
you.
address the public defender's motion to withdraw. I'll consider that withdrawn, given the substitution. I do have an appearance, and I will sign off on the substitution.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing today?
So, Your Honor, we were going to, there's several options that my client,
Well, and I want you to know, counsel, that because of certain things, the court has a number of things I have to say.
Okay,
Because I think the record, given particularly some of Mr. Harris's comments with reference to this court potentially acting what, at least as I'm to understand, is on what some may be, or is it, let's put it this way. People are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that the Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that that assertion is absolutely correct with reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments, as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record. And so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was. And that an indication, counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason, the one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it, and did. But when I'm not wrong, and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license, let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up.
So here we go again with Jeffrey Bloom trying to sound like he passed the bar exam in his spare time, rattling off cannons like he is delivering a sermon to the Supreme Court. He is out here quoting judicial ethics like he memorized them during a weekend in county lockup, but the judge has absolutely no patience for any of it and shuts him down fast. This is not about your teeth, Jeffrey. This is not about your dental work. This is about you not knowing when to stop talking, and when the judge says goodbye, that is your cue to pack it up and move along.
In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license ever. There is also then, and I will, when it is necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. Chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you, that court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was, his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, that friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Let me tell you something. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement. This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day. They took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
All right.
You're covering a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor.
And so that came down to that. So the information at the time that I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, was all correct at the time of both Pittsfield stop as well as the May 15th day. It was all correct. There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now.
Here we go with another courtroom moment where the judge has clearly had enough of the nonsense and is about to set the record all the way straight. The defense comes in all polite and proper, trying to clean up a mess, but the judge is not letting anything slide today because apparently there has been a whole lot of talk going around that this court and the Pittsfield Township were working off bad information. Well, surprise, surprise, the judge looked into it, and guess what? The information was indeed wrong, but not in the way anyone thought, and the judge is making it crystal clear today. No license in Michigan, no license anywhere else, not now, not ever. This is not up for debate. This is not about misunderstandings or paperwork. This is about facts, and the facts say no license, period.
Part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There was something that was sad, that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing. Was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. And being involved into the accident, that he was basically bedridden or at least housebound, he could not get to the Secretary of State. That was set up there, and I'm going to presume, because my knowledge of counsel, defense counsel is, I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
He purposely stated that he could not get to the Secretary of State, which for the way we handle things in this court would have placed him in a whole different category. We would have tried to find a way, let's figure it out. And the reason I know that It's because Mr. Harris, on December 28th of 2023, do you know where you were?
December 28th, 23.
23rd.
2023.
I know I was laid up from my
You were
accident.
at the Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you redid and got your new Michigan ID.
So now the judge is really laying it all out on the table, and honestly this is the part where you just sit back and let the truth do what it does best. The judge is explaining how this whole situation with the suspended license was never about having a license in the first place, because the truth is he never had one, not in Michigan, not anywhere, and what people forget is that states do not suspend a license you never had, they suspend your privilege to drive in their state. So even if he had a Kentucky license, which he did not, he still could not drive in Michigan. Simple as that. And now the judge is clearing up another huge misunderstanding, because everyone wanted to blame the courts or the Secretary of State, but none of this was their fault. The courts did their job. The Secretary of State did their job. The only person who did not do what needed to be done was Mr. Harris himself. He was supposed to pay a reinstatement fee, and he did not do it until very recently, and when he finally did, guess what? The system worked like it always does. His driving privileges were restored. But here's where it gets really wild. Mr. Harris had been telling people he could not get to the Secretary of State because of some accident that left him basically housebound, except the court found out he was absolutely at the Secretary of State in December getting a brand new Michigan ID, so clearly he could get there when it benefited him, and the judge is not letting that slide, because honesty matters in this courtroom, and now the record is crystal clear.
You did it. December 28th, 2023. You did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness to counsel, because I don't know if counsel knows this or not, the way I know that he's never had a license is because May 3rd, 1990, he was 19 at the time. May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. Counsel knows, so I do. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. One of the two. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people coming here to try to get him his license back. But his falsehoods, misstatements are not going to fare him well in this court. I'm done for now. I'm sure I will have something else to say. Whichever one of you would like to speak first, you may.
I'll wait to go last.
Yes, I spent yesterday at the Pittsfield Township Police Department with Officer Monaster, performing the traffic stop in this case. I also noticed the December 28, 2023 date, and I know the significance of that, and the court just went through that painstakingly, and I thank you for that. In addition, at the traffic stop, when I was at the police department yesterday, we watched the body cam video. At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license, close quote. The question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not, close quote. So, you know what, this is all this hoopla and the circus atmosphere is, in my opinion, is an affront to the justice system. I mean, I've been a prosecutor for more than 30 years, and to see this kind of hoopla around a driving while licensed suspended case is ridiculous. And it wasn't caused by this court. It wasn't caused by the Pittsfield Township Police Department. It was caused by the extrajudicial statements made outside this courtroom.
The statements the prosecutor is talking about are the ones the defendant and his lawyer ran to the news with, trying to blame the friend of the court and the Secretary of State for all of this mess, and that right there is exactly why Judge Simpson is so done with this case. So now we get to sit back and see how this lawyer tries to explain their way out of it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Well, first thing I'd like to say is very first thing is we're here and that we all saw this video. I wasn't in court. I wasn't even on YouTube watching the court today, right? I saw it because someone saw it and decided to post it. I can assure you that was not Mr. I don't think he has the capacity to be able to post it like that on YouTube or Instagram. So that was not him. And it happened to take off and go viral. So he had what we saw was him saying he was driving, which he should not have been driving, right? We're told not to drive on Zoom while doing that. So that's how this came to the attention, because the court, I saw you. He said, I can't believe this. Is he driving? And we all said that. Everyone who saw that video asked the same question. And that it became a joke. It became a complete joke. Now, with respect to what we want to do, and I cannot say anything is with respect to what my client has said, but when we talk about the hoopla, my client didn't start the hoopla. Perhaps he's made some comments, but he didn't start the hoopla whatsoever. That was someone that was outside of his control as to how it went viral.
No, the virality of the video is not the reason all this drama kicked off. It happened because when the news reached out to you and your client about the viral video, you both decided to play the victim card instead of owning up and taking accountability. Now, to be fair to the lawyer, she was clearly fed a whole lot of lies by her client, but that does not excuse her from doing her own homework. She should have looked up the laws, the procedures, and the facts before running to the press and making statements that had no foundation. He had no control over where the video ended up, and that is something I will agree with. He did not post it to Instagram or send it anywhere himself. So as far as whether he had a part in that, I am not trying to argue the whole case today. What I want to do is look at what was good in that moment in October, and what was good was this officer right here, because that situation could have gone a whole different direction.